Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. So for this layout I've got a photograph of myself that I wanted to use. So I went through the collection and I picked out a lot of the blues and whites. So I'm going to be using the Chasing Snowflakes, which is the paler blue with the pattern on as the background. And on top of that, I've got the Midnight and Mountain paper, which is pretty much plain, but it's from the 12 by 12 Vintage Basics kit from this Fresh Snow collection. I will be cutting that down later on. This is my ripping ruler. I don't know whether you've seen these before. It's possibly one of the oldest pieces of equipment in my stash. It helps people like me tear in a straight line. I think it's Fiskars. Um, but anyway, makes me smile. It's from my card making days. And what I'm trying to do is reduce this piece of 12 by 12 card down to something similar to A4. And I just would like to have a white torn edge. I know if I do it by hand, it will go all over the place. So I will do the final side when I've decided how big I actually want it to be, because I'm thinking I'd like a collection underneath the photograph of different layers. So I'm just seeing, this is the first time I've used this collection. Um, so I'm just having a good look at it, making sure, seeing this, what I fancy, what pieces I know will work really well. I really like those two Polaroid frames and I've tucked one of those in either side of the photograph. As I start to look through the 6x8 pad, I also find some journaling pieces that I think could look really good in the bottom right corner and will eventually hold some journaling when I finish. So I've cut a couple of those out as well. And I'm just figuring out how much more I want to rip off this Midnight and Mountain paper. And I just go for it in the end. Um, yeah, too much thinking and not enough doing. So that's how I think it's going to look. I won't stick that down yet because if you watched me before, it takes me a while to commit. So that's not going to happen just yet. And because this Polaroid came from one of the 12 by 12 papers, it will need fussy cutting around the edge. And I've made a start on that, but I will finish that nearer the time. So now I need to think about a title as well. And I also want to dig out some of the snowflakes that are in this collection. There's some die cut ones and there's some foam ones. So I'm going to use a mix, mainly just looking at the colours that are on offer. There's a lovely paper in this collection that's covered in tickets. And I've used the 6x8 one and I've cut some of the tickets from that as well, just to add more bits that I can tuck in and add around the photo. You also notice at the bottom, I just brought in one of Hey Little Magpie exclusives. It's one of the JD 3D woods, and it's from the Snowflake Winter and Snowflakes set. I think that would be lovely to bring a warm colour in at the bottom there. There's quite a bit of that colour also appearing in the cluster at the top. So I think that works really well. Even though it's not snowflakes behind me in the photo as such, that's what they look like to me. So that's what I'm going to call them. So I don't know if you've had a chance over the Christmas holidays to have a look in the Hey Little Magpie store. I would really recommend it. Lots of new collections, particularly by Simple Stories as well, all there on offer. Make yourself a brew, have a good look. But I would really recommend. I love the muted colours in this collection, and check it out in store. It's the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow. So I'm starting to build up the collection there at the bottom, just layering pieces up, and I'm doing the same at the top. The top one particularly I feel like is really coming together. I do like layers, and I tend to just play about a little bit until I'm happy, and I don't stick things down until I'm really sure. And when I do stick things down, I tend to only stick them in the center so that the edges do lift up, so they're not flat, because I do prefer that little bit of shadow and dimension. But that's just me. But I think that's nearly coming together. I'm really liking the snowflakes in the center. I found a few wooden ones in my stash. I think I'm going to add a couple of those as well so that they go with the snowflakes word at the bottom. And I'm very happy with the way this has all come together. I think it's because it's such a lovely collection and the colours all go very well together. It seems to feel like a collection that's easy to work with. I don't know whether you've ever found that. Some papers just don't seem to want to go together, but this seemed to come together really easy. So I've stuck that together off camera, and I'm now going to just go back and add all the embellishments. I'm making my title up from two sets of die cuts. One says "Oh what" and another one says "Fun," and I'll add those on top with foam. I'm also using just some glue dots to stick on some of the snowflakes, like I mentioned, so they're just stuck down in the centre. This is my favourite part of doing a layout, adding all the little bits and pieces. So I always take my time, make sure they're exactly where I want them to be. I know it probably infuriates some people, but it's just one of those things. I decided that I didn't want to put the word love with the snowflakes at the bottom, so I do add in the word beautiful at the bottom as well. So it's got like two titles really for this page, and I just took it underneath the wood word. Whilst I'm adding all these, I'm thinking, what else does it need? Does it need anything else? I do add a couple of extra little bits once I've got all these snowflakes on, but I'm quite enjoying them. Literally scattering them over the page. I'm trying not to be too precise. I'm trying to make them look like they're quite natural. Sometimes trying to get something to look natural is harder than trying to be a little bit more organised. And I've got a wooden snowflake there that I'm desperate to place, and it moves around a little bit. If you're enjoying watching this layout, do subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. If you've got any questions about this collection or something from the Hey Little Magpie store, or something you want to ask, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll come back to you as soon as I can with an answer to that. We're always happy to answer any thoughts that you've got. So I've finished off by adding a silver charm and a little bit of wax thread to the left of the photograph. I think it just softens it a little bit with all the harsh edges, and I'm going to just carry on and get the rest of those snowflakes into position. Then I decided I just wanted to add a little bit of white paint. These are just hobby paints, and I've just watered it down a little, and I've just splashed it across, having protected my photograph. So that's the finished layout. And here's the close-ups too. Thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated. Do check out the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection at Hey Little Magpie, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon. This is Sheena Rowlands. Bye for now.